Hello and welcome back to Project 52, where we are producing 52 tracks in 1 year, and this week we are starting week 17 already, which is crazy. But without further ado, let's jump straight into making this week's track. So this week I thought I could try making a track without any drums. I don't know if it's possible for me. As you know, if you've watched any of the previous videos, I love making drums, and drums are my favorite part of pretty much any track that I listen to. So this could be kind of a fun challenge. It could also be catastrophic and I won't be able to finish the track, but let's see how it goes. So that was the mindset that I started this week's track with, and as you can see, I have already managed to add 3 instruments, which is very good. But here's how everything sounds like, and this is the idea that we are working with this week. Then it just repeats. So very simple chords. I think it's a fairly cool idea. On top of making this week's track drumless, I also thought we could try to make it as simple as possible. Just minimal amount of tracks. I usually end up adding way too many elements, and I just keep on adding new stuff. And it's almost always too much. I could do with less content in the tracks and just focus on the core idea. So I thought I could try to do that this week. So let's get right to it. I thought the next thing could be adding a melody. So let's try to add that. Or I don't know if it's melody, but something melodic or some sort of lead. So let's try to look for a sound. Oh, my keyboard is on. It's easier to play something if it is. Nice. This could use some reverb, I think. I mean, it already has some reverb, but it's just much nicer when we have this wide, further reverb. Save this sound for later use maybe and look for another sound, because whenever I'm not finding the right melody that I'm looking for, or any good melody that I would prefer, I like to switch sounds completely, because usually the sound is the source of inspiration for the melody as well. So if I'm not feeling it with the sound, although I do like the sound, but it's just sometimes beneficial to try to find an inspiration for a melody with another sound, if that makes sense. This is taking way longer than I would like, but I hope we find something soon. Oh, that's such a cool sound. This might be weird, but can we change the speed of the chord progression? Maybe it doesn't make sense. I'm feeling stuck. You know what, I always add a melody, but why wouldn't we instead try to just utilize new chords to make the track more interesting? Because whenever I add a melody, it becomes way too busy. Suddenly we are in Jurassic Park or something. Okay, so if we were to go here into Jurassic Park, what would be the scale? Because this isn't the same scale anymore. I don't know even if it's a major or minor scale, or if it's something more exotic. Maybe it's something more exotic and I don't know the name of it. Let's just go with feeling and see if it works. Alright, so let's do the Jurassic Park thing. No, I think the root note has to go back to the first note, whatever it was. I think it was G sharp. So let's think it through again. That changes the atmosphere completely. I don't know what that would sound like in context. This is so hard. I was afraid this was gonna take much longer than just making a track normally. Alright, let's copy these. Maybe it's easier to just work with them. But now we are in the same situation that we have to do something new to keep the track fresh. I was thinking we could start with this kind of minor scale and later on in the track it would change into a more uplifting scale. I don't know. I don't think I'm able to do this anymore today. This is not going anywhere. I know this feeling and it won't get better without me taking a break and coming back. So great, we got nowhere. I'll take a short break, I'll grab something to eat and I'll continue off camera and try to get something done. So tomorrow morning, hopefully I'll be able to show you all the cool things that I was able to do when I was not filming. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow and we'll try to get something more done. So bye, see you then. All right, welcome back. It's a new day and I'm feeling much better compared to yesterday. So let's get right back to it. It's weird, isn't it, how much your own mood can affect making music. I don't know why it is like that, but I mean, it kind of makes sense because you are making art, even though I wouldn't want to call my own music art, but you know, it kind of is. So if you're feeling good yourself, it's much easier to make something that you feel good about. Anyway, yesterday the track started sounding pretty bad after all the time I had been listening to the track, but today when I had a listen the first time, it sounded pretty good. So I'm confident that we are able to make even something decent out of this no drums challenge that we have this week. So as I said yesterday, I continued to work on the track and I was able to make some progress, not much, but some new elements. So let me just play everything to you as it is at the moment. This is a new section which we are going to work on today, and this has only this one element, so I'm not going to play this to you. Okay, here's the track so far. So those are all the elements, I guess. There are a couple of new sounds. They are mostly still analog lab sounds. I think the basses are both phase plant. This new one that I added is this kind of weird thing that just goes on in the background and it has this pitch envelope. I don't know what this is called, but in solo it sounds like this. Then we have another phase plant sound, which is a new one as well. This is sort of a bell type thing, which continues the melody from the arpeggio from the intro and just brings in the same kind of high end that the intro had without having to use the intro sounds high end, if that makes sense. This one sounds like this. Anything else that's new? This one here might be new, I don't remember. And then we have this Acid V preset, tiny bit modified, not much. And that's it. So the next thing I thought could be trying to add a very simple melody, kind of free, how do you say it, improvised melody for the second section with this flute sounding sound that we actually, I think, played around with yesterday as well. With that. Okay, I mean that's good enough, I think. Then it could just end, you know, with one octave down, the same thing as we started here. So, okay, let's maybe copy this, bring everything down one octave, and then it would just filter out, I would imagine, maybe. I feel so lazy when I just copy things over like this. I don't know. I'm imagining drums in the background. But I can't do those. So. Could we replicate the rhythm in the Acid V for some other sound using, I don't know, SSF, for example? So I don't know, what should I even try with this? Dan, da dan, da dan, da dan, dan, da dan. Is it like this? That's pretty decent. The mixing needs some work still, but I'll do that later on, so it's not very interesting to watch. So I think that's it for this week's track, week 17. I'm pretty pleased with what we were able to do in such a short time. It's not the coolest track that I've ever made, but it's what it is. It's pretty cool. I think I have never done a track without any drums, so I think that's an achievement on its own, which is always nice to try to do something new. If you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, be sure to do so from the button below, and if you liked this video, be sure to press the like button as well. It means a lot to me. Also, let me know in the comments, what did you like of this week's track? Did I succeed in making a track interesting without any drums? I hope I did. That's pretty much all for this week's video. Actually, one more thing, the thing I always mention at the end of these videos, if you'd like to join the challenge of producing 52 tracks in 1 year, which is the Project 52, you can do so by following the link in the description, which will take you to the Sixth Sample Discord server, and there we have a Project 52 text channel where we share the tracks every week and give feedback to other people. So if that sounds something that you might enjoy, we would love to have you in the server. So that's it for this week's video. I hope you liked the track. Here it is, and I also hope to see you next week for week 18 of Project 52. So see you then. Bye bye.